So hello everybody, thank you again for joining us on another meeting of EAWANET. Today we have the privilege to host Mr. Stewart. My name is Eldad from Triple Profit, collaborating with the EAWANET community to support the social challenges of the countries in the Eastern Africa. Today, of course, Stella is here with us as well. Maybe we start with you, Stuart. Would you present yourself, please?
Okay. Stuart Semakula is my name, but normally the popular name is Stuart. Many they call me Stuart. I'm the first chairman of EAWANET Network, East African Work Camps Association Network. That was established on the 20th, 1996, way back. I'm an individual founder of that network, together with my partners who joined me from Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, including Stella, who was among them, who joined the EAWANET network. So we found out that there was a need how East Africa we could cooperate, all organizations operating work camps in East Africa. That's Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. We formed up that EAWANET network, which we found that it could bring us together as we are targeting the youth in particular, to see how we can make them more committed and more responsible people in the future. We started that network. But as I talk now, I work with the Uganda Volunteers for Peace, which is a member of ICYE Federation in Germany. It's a federation with headquarters in Berlin, Germany. Being the first chairman, we had a very good time in organizing the youth within the region. We had different activities under the sponsorship of MS Uganda. That was a Danish organization from Denmark, supporting all local NGOs and NGOs in the region. So MS was among the partners and was really pushing us ahead very much in organizing joint activities, work camps. And these work camps used to be rotating. We could have a work camp in Kenya, could have a work camp next year, the other year in Uganda, another camp we could make it in Tanzania, and also meetings. We had an executive meeting of EAWA where I was sharing as the chairman, and we used also to rotate to go. Again, further, we tried as much as possible to cooperate with the other networks like Southern Africa. We are together with Zimbabwe Work Camp Association in Malawi, Botswana, Swaziland, all that. We visited them. I had a coordinator by that time, the late Sam Wadimba, who passed away sometime. Yeah, he was a very active guy. I can pause for the silence of 1 second for our late Sam Wadimba, the first coordinator of EAWA. Let it has so rest in eternal peace. Thank you. So we continued working, and definitely it was very active. It was among the network we had in East Africa, because other networks in Africa used to admire our activities. Because many, we had more connection with the other networks in Central Africa, Northern Africa, like that. Mm-hmm. So we went ahead we pushed about 9 to 10 years, where we changed the leadership, membership, and we tried to change. And the second chairman was in Kenya, Reverend Okonji, who seconded me, who was the second chairman. But before we had another general assembly to have another turnover of having second leadership, In fact, we had gone ahead so far that this network was well recognized within East Africa, even in the East African Council of Ministers. We are already recognizing our network. And we had friends also who had boosting us from other countries, like we had a very experienced guy. He's called Nigel in UK. He's a Briton. He's paying very much attention to our network. And we had a very international event which we organized as IUA in 1987, something, 97, I don't remember the year. That was under CCIVS, International Committee for International Organizations. So we hosted, and we were among the hosters and the other members in Uganda. So we changed the leadership, and Reverend Okonji from Kenya took over and became a chairman of IUA. Still, we continued sharing ideas, joint activities, visiting projects, inviting different, having different programs in training, capacity building, empowering youth, especially those drop out from schools. And again, we continued exactly the whole network, the whole system network. The structure was okay and everything was doing well. We had also KVDA in Kenya. We had other organizations in Kenya. Yes. And then after 4 years, and then we got another, we had to change the leadership. I went to Tanzania. The chair, that was the last chairman of Tanzania. But that one, things had started not working properly with our sponsors. We could not get money in time, sponsoring our programs and what. Then he worked about 1.5 years, and most of the partners pulled out, the sponsors could not continue, and the network also, we found out it was difficult for us to continue because we are lacking funds. Activities dropped down, and the other members were not very much active. Then MOS, our main partner, the sponsors, also pulled out because we had MOS Tanzania, we had MOS Uganda, and we had MOS in Tanzania. Both of them, they were supporting us. So with that one, then the network started coming down. Some activities, no money, no funds. Probably the chairman, it might be that was not much supported. And then with us, we were following up, we were busy with our individual organization we are working from. And then the network started coming down, and then eventually it was down. Found out that nobody could work it. Lastly, we posted with the late Sam Wadimba with the Uganda Pioneers Association. He tried to see whether they could try to bring back the members and see how we can. But the whole problem was funding. As soon as the funding came out from MOS, and mainly it was MOS, and then people, the other members could not manage what was expanded, and wanted more money to see how we could push it. So everything came down, and then nobody, as far as the last Sam died again, everything came down totally. So we discontinued with the IUA. IUA became stake onto operating, but good enough that we had all documentations for the IUA in our stores, especially myself as the founder. I had all the documents, and we came just recently with the members, including Stella, very, very, very active coordinator and a good mobilizer. You see, he tried, and we tried to become, he says, no, how can we try to revive IUA network again? Let's try to contact the former members, see whether they have an interest. So Stella did a lot. I can't even express how much time. I mean, Stella has put most of his time to communicate, send documents and what. So remember, felt to join the IU again. Believe that members could still have that spirit of joining IU again. So then we tried to contact members, that also Stella contacted you, and then members picked up interest. They said, no, we must revive our network because it was doing well and people benefited much. Those who were at that time members of IUA, because also we had members from South Sudan and Rwanda as well, also had joined us. So Stella led as the coordinator. I appointed him in my capacity as the interim chairman to work as the interim coordinator to coordinate and mobilize and see whether we can try to have more members to join us and see the way forward. So that's the position of IU at the moment. That's what I can express. However, I have more as the founder, but currently that's how it is. Thank you very much, Baba. That's what I have for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Stewart. We know it's been a lot have been achieved in the last couple of years since when it was established. And and it will be very interesting to hear from you how this involvement, how did it make you feel as the founder, as the one who saw everything coming to life, as you say, also with the struggles, with some partners who left, with the funding that maybe you lost along the way and still is trying to revive it. How did you feel through the process? And maybe while you talk, I will share a few of your documents as well. So we'll be very interested to hear from you. How has it been?
Yeah, definitely I felt I was really very, very much, I was really very much impressed and I felt proud when I had members feel that they have interest. We had like Stella, I had another guy from Uganda, Volunteer Development Association, Kawesa Edward, where we started our communication slowly internally here. And I try to share a lot with Stella. I say, Stella, if we can give you so and so and so such partners, contact them and see if they have that feeling, that's who have that interest, then they are most welcome. So definitely it was a pleasure to me to see that the organization I started with a few partners that has been revived and people still having an interest. So definitely I feel proud of it and I'm very much interested in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We also know there used to be some kind of a competition around the EAWANET. Maybe you will share a bit about it with us?
Well,
some competitors.
Competitors, yeah, with the competitors, this is the world, you see, with the voluntarism perspective or with these civil society organizations, we expect the competitions, like in where I work at the moment, the Federation, our headquarters in Germany, but we have more networks, you see, we have more networks. It's a bit competitive, but we have to find a way to be more strategic, to see the areas where we focus. You see, that's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. And maybe we'll be very interested for the viewers to hear from you, the founder of the organization of the EAWANET. How would you see the coming years? How do you see the near future in terms of the social involvement and social change in Eastern Africa? I think it will be very interesting to hear how do you see it, so people can make the the next steps according to your vision.
Yeah, my vision, the way I look at it, and when I look at the communication, which still normally sends to me, and I read through through the by email, on WhatsApp. Well, I'm looking at that exactly. It has a future if we could unite and we focus. You see, if we unite, then you see the future is okay. We can try. However, we have novel this of which Uganda national. I don't know whether it is. Is it? This is for Africa.
Mm-hmm, mostly.
Oh, that yes, yes. It's called the NAVO, something like a NAVO. But still, with the males in the view, I've been sharing with them. Stella of the same thing with the other partners outside. I say, fine, having a network for covering the whole continent of Africa wouldn't be bad, but we would strengthen first our regional networks in West Africa, in East Africa, in Southern Africa. And then when it becomes stronger, then to lead us to have a big network covering up the whole continent. This was recently negotiated. They have just sent me documents recently. I mean, yes, I mean, within this month, their constitution, whatever, all that. It's also a good idea, but I was in the view that we needed to look at to strengthen our regional networks, because we have in Southern Africa, we have in Western Africa, we have in Northern Africa, we have in Eastern Africa. Let's try to strengthen our networks through the members we have within the region, because East Africa now, in East Africa, it is a bit now expanded, because we are looking at Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania, but now our heads of states have expanded it. So we have Burundi, we have South Sudan, and we have Rwanda as well. So they also be accorded within the East African region, whereby it can be Eastern African region. It should be Eastern. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Maybe Stella would like also to join us, Stella?
Yes. Yeah, yes, please. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Semakula, for that perspective. And maybe just to add, EAWANET, regarding MS Uganda. MS Uganda rebranded to, it's now the current Action Aid. It's Action Aid that took over, right? MS Uganda.
Right, that's fine.
It rebranded to Action Aid. And what they used to popularize the activities Mr. Semakula is talking about is what they call the Youth Cooperation Program. And this Youth Cooperation Program had components to do with work camps, and then issues to do with poverty alleviation, intercultural exchange, and those are the basic things. But I also want to believe that whatever we encountered in history was kind of a blessing in disguise, because the reuniting made us realize that we actually had impact over time. Much as it appeared like we had we had frozen, in reality, through the seeds that were planted by EAWANET, work was actually going with we've been handling, running. We have the Institute of Social Policy and Research. You know, we have a rural focus initiative in Kenya. The Institute of Social Policy and Research is in South Sudan. You know, then we have also we have different people. We have Agula, who has been doing a lot of peace activities around Africa. So for us, much as an institution at the forefront, it appears like we're frozen, but at the background there was a lot, as we shall see, as we see from the recordings that have been documented so far, a lot that has been happening. Yeah, and then maybe the other thing is we are now seeing the need to re-strategize, because we've learned from it's like a lesson learned over time, because now we are looking at it that EAWANET as an institution should not only feed a member organization, but also member organizations should be able to feed EAWANET. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation in terms of sustainability. You know, yes, traditionally, most member organizations look at networks or consortiums as a source to draw from. But this time we are saying that no, the network should also draw from member organizations, as member organizations also draw from the network as an umbrella institution. And then Mr. Semakula talks of about building on regional networks. Yeah, it's a good strategy to build on existing regional networks and also continental level. So for us as EAWANET, we look out for existing continental platforms, and then see how do we build on this, other than maybe looking at them as competitors. We go and say, okay, this is our principles as EAWANET, but this is an opportunity as a continental platform, and there are several continental platforms in Africa that we can always, although they handle maybe different specialties, maybe peace, others on conflict, others on natural resources, but we think that the international voluntary service movement needs to break out of the shell and go beyond being cocooned within continental networks that are strictly for international voluntary service, and then begin collaborating with different platforms that handle different pertinent issues, be it on natural resources, be it on environment, be it on peace and conflict. I just thought I would add that, but I really want to appreciate the input of our chairman, Mr. Sema. Back to you, Eldad.
Thank you so much. Stella, thank you so much for everything.
I can't hear you properly now.
Yeah. And
I can't hear
you. Can you hear us? Yeah?
Yeah.
I just want to say that we've been having those calls for a while already. And it always came about that EAWANET really focusing, the way I see it, in two major changes that we can see in the social world globally and specifically in Africa, which is one is the specific impact, really making the research and involving local partners to create the needed impact in every region. And second of all, sustainability, meaning we're not coming for a specific project one time this year, and then we don't know what happened later. But through those collaborations, through those partnerships in the field, empowering and supporting local CBOs, NGOs, initiatives, we can make a real sustainable impact that if today we're building this network, we know that the coming future, no matter what the challenge will be, we have this strong unity and strong force working to the same goals.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think also that's the beauty of like the way you put it and what Mr. Semakola said. That's the beauty of building on existing structures. We lessen the risk of being donor dependent, because efforts are complementary, and that is one thing we're working on. So, for example, from the records, you can see we've not yet gotten donor funding, but already there is a lot a lot of impact that has been realized over time, even at that point where we saw that donor funding had frozen. So at this point, we want to say that whether there's donor funding or not, something has to be done.
Yes, that's I agree with you. Sustainability of the existing structure, the existing regional networks matters very much, rather than looking at on the level of intercontinental levels, you see, because now it's like building a house. A house, you cannot build a house without a foundation. Once the foundation is poor or is weak, the house will never stand. So we need to have to strengthen the current structure we have within the region, because as I know through my experience, because all those areas I've visited them. I've been to Zambia, I've been to Malawi, I've been to Swaziland. All those areas I've visited them physically as the first chairman, So all people really, they are very, very impressed with the way we are talking about IUA. That's where most of people took up an idea, says, oh, please, we need to have a network within the region. If we can have Western Africa, we can have Eastern, we can have a Northern. Then we build up and find out that we even exchanging views, that exchanging what we call volunteers within the region, south to south. Let people come from Tanzania, have an activity joint with Ugandans here. Let people come from Israel, join us here on different activities and different trainings, in particular capacity building, empowering women, youth, you see. So in such areas, we found out that definitely we can grow stronger. Even the donors can always try to be, can be easily for us to be attracted to our network. Says, no, those people, they are very stable. the way they are doing their things. Things are moving. They have moved to such a level, going to such a level, going like that. So that's how I look at it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Miss-
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Hello, Baba, you have
Uh,
it? You can add on something. Add on.
yeah, thank you, Mr. Semakula. Now, I just want, out of curiosity, considering what is going on right now from March regarding the COVID-19, and like we all know, it has had an effect and impact on different development programs, inclusive of the International Voluntary Service Movement. What would, out of your observations and what you've experienced, what would be your recommendation? How would you recommend the IVS movement?
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Stella, my coordinator. So on the view now, globally, because I'm direct with most of the embassies who are accredited in Uganda, that most of the programs, these international movements like international volunteers, either from abroad, south to north, south to north, north to south, all that is we start in February. We expect things to be normalizing if all goes well. Currently, as you know now in Uganda, we are approaching in January, we have general elections from 14th January, where we found out that still may not be a good period for us. But when I look at the application we have for international volunteers, we are starting in February, all our partners in Europe. Next time we start traveling, we'll start basically, our prediction is February 2021. And I was in the view, the interaction of this COVID-19, fine, it's a global issue, but still we have to be strategic. We have to work because you see now, like in Europe, people are dying every 10,000, 5,000, but still it doesn't stop them to work. We have to keep on planning, see what to do, and if it sensitize our people. Now, like these people coming in February, and when they arrive in Uganda, you have to sensitize them to go about it, washing hands, sensitizing, put on masks, movements, and that all that we have to guide our young people, and why also to try to address how we can how they can enjoy the program. However, COVID is there, but still COVID cannot prevent us from working. But we have to lay out how to go about it and how to our people can be guided. Because now here we have more guidelines. How can guidelines for people who are coming in, people who are going out. Such country has, they have got their individual guidelines related to COVID-19.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Stella, may I offer also to share the videos? Remember we shared these videos coming from volunteers in Israel about how to act according to the pandemic?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's okay.
Maybe it will be relevant as well. We want to thank you, Mr. Stewart, so much for your time. It's been a great pleasure to meet you and to hear about your side of things. How did you see over the years from the founding of the EAWANET through all of different countries in different regions you've been visiting in and establishing the EAWANET? And we hope for great continuity. And we know that with Stella as a coordinator, we're going to see much more coming of it. So thank you so much for your time, and we hope we meet again soon. Eh?
Thank you too.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you also for hosting us. And lastly, I would love if we continue communicating. And we are very much interested of having young people from your country coming to Uganda. That will be very, 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 very nice and fantastic later for the way forward.
Definitely, we will. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you,
Stella.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
okay, Stella, thank you very much.
Okay,
thank you also. Together. Okay, have a nice day. Bye-bye.